Forgiveness is an internal act of healing that allows you to release pain, anger, and resentment. It is a deeply personal journey, often undertaken not for the benefit of the person who caused the harm, but for your own well-being. Forgiveness is not about erasing what happened or excusing the actions of others. Instead, it is about acknowledging the impact of those actions and choosing to free yourself from their emotional grip. By doing so, you create space for peace, growth, and renewal in your life. At its core, forgiveness is a process of letting go. When you hold on to anger or resentment, you carry a heavy emotional burden that can weigh on your mind and heart. These feelings may linger long after the event, affecting your mental health, relationships, and ability to move forward. Forgiveness provides an opportunity to release these negative emotions, lightening your emotional load and allowing you to focus on the present rather than being tethered to the pain of the past. One of the most important aspects of forgiveness is recognizing that it is for your benefit, not for the person who wronged you. While some people may believe that forgiving someone lets them off the hook, true forgiveness is not about excusing or condoning harmful behavior. It is about reclaiming your power and deciding that the actions of others will no longer dictate your emotional state. This shift in perspective helps you regain control of your life and fosters a sense of inner peace. The process of forgiveness begins with acknowledgement. Denying or suppressing your feelings about the harm done to you only prolongs the healing process. Instead, allow yourself to fully experience and understand your emotions, whether they are sadness, anger, or disappointment. This self-awareness is essential for moving forward as it helps you identify the areas in which you need healing. Journaling, therapy, or speaking with a trusted friend can be valuable tools for processing these emotions. Another key component of forgiveness is empathy. While it may be difficult, trying to understand the perspective or motivations of the person who hurt you can help you see the situation in a new light. This does not mean justifying their actions, but recognizing that people often act out of their own pain, ignorance, or flaws. Cultivating empathy can soften the intensity of your anger and make forgiveness feel more attainable. Forgiveness also requires patience and self-compassion. Healing is not a linear process, and it is normal to revisit feelings of hurt or anger even after you have decided to forgive. Be kind to yourself during these moments, recognizing that forgiveness is a journey rather than a one-time event. Allow yourself the time and space needed to work through your emotions at your own pace. Choosing to forgive does not mean that you must reconcile or maintain a relationship with the person who hurt you. Forgiveness and reconciliation are separate processes, and it is entirely valid to set boundaries to protect yourself from further harm. In some cases, forgiving someone in silence and from a distance is the healthiest choice for your well-being. This approach allows you to prioritize your healing while maintaining control over the dynamics of your relationships. The benefits of forgiveness extend beyond emotional well-being. Research has shown that letting go of resentment can improve physical health by reducing stress, lowering blood pressure, and enhancing overall immune function. It can also improve your mental health, increasing feelings of happiness, contentment, and self-worth. By forgiving, you create a positive ripple effect in your life that impacts not only your own well-being, but also your interactions with others. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It is an act of courage and strength that allows you to break free from the cycle of pain and resentment. By choosing forgiveness, you affirm your commitment to living a life guided by peace, growth, and self-compassion. It is a transformative process that empowers you to move forward with clarity, grace, and an open heart. Silence can serve as a boundary rather than an expression of bitterness, offering a powerful and intentional way to protect your emotional well-being. While many associate silence with resentment or avoidance, it can instead be a deliberate choice to create space for healing, reflection, and personal growth. By choosing silence, you establish a clear boundary that prioritizes your mental health and preserves your peace without harboring ill will toward others. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships and a balanced life. They define what is acceptable and unacceptable in interactions with others, helping to ensure mutual respect and understanding. Silence as a boundary allows you to disengage from situations or individuals that may be harmful, toxic, or draining. It is a way of saying, I value my well-being enough to step away from what no longer serves me, without the need for confrontation or explanation. Choosing silence does not equate to holding a grudge. On the contrary, it can be an act of self-respect and emotional maturity. It signals that you have chosen to let go of anger or resentment while acknowledging that continued interaction may not be conducive to your well-being. Silence creates a space where you can focus on your own healing and growth, free from the distractions or conflicts that might arise from unresolved issues. One of the key benefits of silence as a boundary is its ability to foster clarity and self-reflection. When you remove yourself from a situation or relationship that causes stress or emotional turmoil, you gain the opportunity to evaluate your feelings, priorities, and needs without external interference. This period of reflection can help you better understand what you want from your relationships and what you need to feel respected and supported. Silence can also act as a protective mechanism. In some cases, engaging with someone who has caused harm or conflict may lead to further emotional distress or reopen old wounds. By choosing silence, you shield yourself from unnecessary pain while allowing the other person to reflect on their behavior. This approach is not about punishing the other party, but about creating a safe and healthy distance that facilitates healing on both sides. It is important to distinguish between silence as a boundary and silence as avoidance. While silence can be a constructive way to set limits, it should not be used to suppress emotions or avoid addressing important issues in your life. For silence to be an effective boundary, it must be accompanied by self-awareness and a commitment to personal growth. This means acknowledging your feelings, seeking support when needed, and using the space created by silence to focus on your well-being. Another critical aspect of silence as a boundary is understanding that it is not a permanent state. It is a tool that can be employed temporarily or indefinitely, depending on the situation and your needs. In some cases, silence may lead to reconciliation after both parties have had time to reflect and grow. In others, it may serve as a lasting boundary that signifies the end of a relationship or interaction. Either way, the choice of silence is about prioritizing your peace and creating a healthier dynamic in your life. Silence as a boundary also communicates a powerful message without the need for words. It conveys that you are taking responsibility for your well-being and that you are willing to make difficult but necessary decisions to protect it. This silent assertion of your needs can be more impactful than engaging in arguments or attempts to justify your choices. Silence as a boundary is an act of self-care. It allows you to step away from negativity, focus on your healing, and build a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. Far from being an expression of bitterness, silence reflects strength, self-respect, and a commitment to your emotional health. By embracing silence as a boundary, you take an active role in shaping a more peaceful and fulfilling life for yourself. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the wrongs committed against you. It is a profound act of emotional liberation, allowing you to release anger, resentment, and pain while retaining the lessons and wisdom gained from the experience. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past or diminishing its significance. Instead, it is about accepting what happened, processing the emotions tied to it, and choosing to move forward without being weighed down by bitterness. At its core, forgiveness is a personal decision to let go of the power that a painful event or person holds over you. It is not an act of condoning or excusing harmful behavior, nor does it mean pretending that it didn't happen. Forgetting a wrong can lead to a lack of boundaries and the risk of repeated harm, whereas forgiveness allows you to maintain awareness while freeing yourself from the emotional toll of unresolved anger. This distinction is crucial, as it empowers you to make informed decisions about how to navigate your relationships and protect your well-being. Remembering the past is essential for growth and resilience. Each experience, whether positive or negative, shapes who we are and how we approach the world. By remembering the pain caused by someone else's actions, you gain valuable insight into your own strength and capacity for healing. These memories serve as reminders of what you have overcome and can guide you in making healthier choices in the future. Forgiveness allows you to carry these lessons without being burdened by the emotional weight of the past. One of the misconceptions about forgiveness is that it involves reconciling with the person who caused harm. While reconciliation can be a part of forgiveness in some cases, it is not a requirement. Forgiveness is primarily an internal process focused on your own peace and healing. Forgetting, on the other hand, might imply that you are willing to resume a relationship or interaction without addressing the underlying issues. This can leave you vulnerable to repeating cycles of hurt or disappointment. Forgiveness without forgetting enables you to set boundaries and protect yourself while still choosing to release negative emotions. Forgiveness does not erase accountability, Choosing to forgive someone does not absolve them of responsibility for their actions. It does not mean that their behavior was acceptable or that they should avoid consequences. Instead, forgiveness shifts the focus from their actions to your response. It allows you to reclaim control over your emotional state, ensuring that you are not defined by someone else's choices or the pain they caused. Remembering what happened ensures that accountability remains intact both for the other person and for yourself. Forgiveness is also about prioritizing your mental and emotional health. Holding on to anger and resentment can have profound negative effects, leading to stress, anxiety, and even physical health issues. By choosing forgiveness, you release these harmful emotions and create space for peace, joy, and healing. Remembering the past, however, ensures that you remain mindful of the boundaries and lessons necessary to maintain your well-being. It's a delicate balance between letting go of the emotional burden and retaining the knowledge that helps you navigate future situations with wisdom. In some cases, remembering past wrongs can serve as a source of strength and inspiration. It can remind you of the resilience you demonstrated in overcoming adversity and motivate you to help others who may be facing similar challenges. By choosing forgiveness, you show that it is possible to move forward without being shackled by bitterness. And by remembering, you remain grounded in the reality of your journey. Forgiveness and forgetting are two separate processes with distinct purposes. Forgiveness is about healing and releasing the emotional grip of the past, while remembering is about honoring the lessons learned and protecting yourself from future harm. Together, they enable you to live a life guided by resilience, growth, and self-compassion. By choosing to forgive without forgetting, you acknowledge the complexity of human experience and embrace a path that prioritizes both emotional liberation and personal empowerment. Quiet forgiveness is a powerful and deeply personal act that allows individuals to heal and move forward without fanfare or external acknowledgement. It is the process of letting go of resentment, anger, or hurt without necessarily seeking reconciliation or informing the person who caused the pain. This approach emphasizes the internal nature of forgiveness, highlighting its role as a tool for self-healing and emotional freedom rather than a transactional exchange between two people. At its core, quiet forgiveness is about reclaiming peace and control over your emotional well-being. When someone hurts you, it is natural to feel anger, sadness, or disappointment. These emotions, while valid, can linger and create a heavy burden if not addressed. By choosing quiet forgiveness, you acknowledge the pain while deciding not to let it dominate your thoughts and feelings. This act of releasing negativity is transformative, allowing you to regain clarity and focus on your own growth. One of the defining features of quiet forgiveness is its independence from external validation or acknowledgement. Often, people associate forgiveness with confrontation or an exchange of apologies. However, this dynamic is not always possible or even necessary. The person who caused the harm may be unwilling to engage, unaware of their actions, or unavailable for reconciliation. Quiet forgiveness frees you from the need for their involvement, empowering you to heal on your own terms. It reinforces the idea that forgiveness is primarily for your benefit, not theirs. Quiet forgiveness also underscores the importance of boundaries. Forgiving someone does not mean granting them access to your life or resuming the same relationship dynamic. It is entirely possible to forgive quietly while choosing to maintain distance for your emotional health. This separation is not an act of bitterness, but a form of self-care, ensuring that you are protected from further harm. Quiet forgiveness allows you to hold space for your healing without the pressure to reconcile or explain your choices. A significant aspect of quiet forgiveness is its ability to foster resilience and self-compassion. Letting go of anger and resentment requires strength and courage, especially when there is no external acknowledgement of your forgiveness. By practicing quiet forgiveness, you affirm your capacity to rise above the pain and prioritize your own well-being. This resilience often leads to greater self-awareness and a deeper understanding of your values, emotions, and needs. Quiet forgiveness can also have a profound ripple effect on your relationships and interactions with others. When you release the negativity associated with a past hurt, you are less likely to carry that emotional weight into future interactions. This creates a space for healthier, more authentic connections. Additionally, quiet forgiveness sets an example for others, demonstrating the power of grace and emotional independence. Even without speaking of your forgiveness, your actions and demeanor can inspire those around you to reflect on their own relationships and choices. The internal nature of quiet forgiveness allows for a more reflective and introspective approach to healing. Instead of focusing on external resolutions, you can delve into your own emotions, processing them in a way that aligns with your personal growth. This introspection often leads to valuable insights about yourself, the dynamics of the situation, and the lessons to be learned. By forgiving quietly, you transform a painful experience into an opportunity for self-discovery and empowerment. Importantly, quiet forgiveness does not negate accountability. Forgiving someone does not mean excusing their actions or forgetting the harm they caused. It is possible to forgive while still recognizing the need for justice, accountability, or change. Quiet forgiveness is not about erasing the past, but about refusing to let it define your present and future. It allows you to move forward with clarity, strength, and grace, unburdened by the weight of unresolved emotions. Quiet forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It is a testament to your ability to rise above pain, prioritize your well-being, and embrace a path of healing and peace. By choosing to forgive without the need for acknowledgement or reconciliation, you reclaim your emotional freedom and create a foundation for growth, resilience, and inner harmony. Quiet forgiveness is a profound reminder that true strength lies not in holding on to anger, but in letting go with grace. Silence is a profound and often underappreciated tool for cultivating self-love and achieving clarity in life. In a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and demands, the decision to embrace silence can feel counterintuitive. Yet, it is within these quiet moments that we find the space to reconnect with ourselves, reflect on our experiences, and gain a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is the presence of intention, self-awareness, and the freedom to explore our inner world. One of the most significant benefits of silence is its ability to foster self-love. When we allow ourselves to step away from the noise of daily life, we create an opportunity to listen to our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This act of turning inward is an expression of care and respect for ourselves, acknowledging that our inner voice deserves attention. In silence, we can confront our fears, insecurities, and doubts with compassion rather than criticism. This process of self-discovery helps us develop a greater appreciation for who we are, flaws and all. Silence also provides a sanctuary for healing. Life's challenges, whether they involve relationships, work, or personal struggles, can leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. Taking time to sit in silence allows us to process these experiences in a safe and non-judgmental space. It is in these quiet moments that we can acknowledge our pain, let go of negative emotions, and begin the journey toward acceptance and growth. Silence becomes a powerful act of self-care, reminding us that we are worthy of the time and effort it takes to heal. Clarity is another gift that silence offers. In the absence of external distractions, our minds have the freedom to untangle the complexities of our lives. We can sift through our thoughts and identify what is truly important. This newfound clarity often brings a sense of direction, helping us make decisions that align with our values and goals. Silence acts as a filter, allowing us to separate the noise of others' opinions and expectations from our own desires and truths. The relationship between silence and clarity extends to our relationships with others. When we take time for quiet introspection, we become more attuned to our needs and boundaries. This self-awareness enables us to communicate more effectively and authentically with those around us. Silence can also help us identify patterns in our relationships, whether they are healthy or detrimental, and guide us in making choices that support our well-being. Practicing silence is a form of mindfulness, grounding us in the present moment. It allows us to step out of the cycle of overthinking and rumination, which often leads to stress and anxiety. By focusing on the stillness around us, we can cultivate a sense of peace and gratitude for the simple, often overlooked aspects of life. This practice not only enhances our mental health, but also strengthens our connection to ourselves and the world around us. Incorporating silence into our lives does not require grand gestures or extensive time commitments. It can be as simple as setting aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly, meditate, or engage in a reflective activity like journaling. These moments of intentional silence create a ripple effect, gradually improving our ability to handle challenges, make thoughtful decisions, and nurture our inner peace. Silence also serves as a reminder of our autonomy. It gives us the power to step back from the chaos of the external world and reclaim control over our time and energy. In choosing silence, we affirm our right to prioritize ourselves and our well-being. This act of self-empowerment strengthens our sense of self-worth and reinforces the belief that we are capable of navigating life's complexities with grace and resilience. Silence is a path to self-love and clarity that allows us to reconnect with who we are at our core. It is a space where we can heal, reflect, and grow free from the pressures and distractions of the outside world. By embracing silence, we create a foundation of inner strength, wisdom, and compassion that supports us in every aspect of our lives. It is in these quiet moments that we discover the power of simply being, a profound reminder that we are enough just as we are. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as a gift we offer to those who have wronged us, but in reality, it is a profound act of self-liberation. Choosing to forgive is not about excusing someone's behavior or granting them absolution. Instead, it is about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of anger, resentment, and pain that can linger long after the wrongdoing has occurred. Forgiveness is a choice to prioritize your own well-being, growth, and peace of mind, regardless of whether the person who hurt acknowledges their actions or seeks reconciliation. Holding on to resentment can feel justified in the aftermath of being wronged. It may even seem like a form of control or retribution. However, prolonged bitterness often does more harm to the person holding it than to the one who caused the harm. Anger and resentment can become all-consuming, affecting your mental and emotional health, relationships, and overall outlook on life. By choosing to forgive, you reclaim your energy and focus, directing it toward healing and moving forward rather than remaining stuck in a cycle of negativity. Forgiveness does not require the other person's participation or even their knowledge. While many view forgiveness as a two-way interaction, it is fundamentally an internal process. You do not need an apology or acknowledgement to begin letting go of the emotional burden. This independence is empowering because it places control over your healing firmly in your hands. Forgiveness allows you to sever the emotional ties to a painful experience without being dependent on external validation or closure. The act of forgiveness does not mean forgetting or minimizing the harm done. It is not about pretending that the pain didn't happen or that the actions of others were acceptable. On the contrary, forgiveness requires confronting the hurt honestly and acknowledging the impact it has had on your life. This process of acknowledgement is essential for healing because it validates your experience and emotions. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past, but about refusing to let it dictate your present and future. Forgiveness is also a tool for personal growth and self-compassion. Letting go of resentment creates space for introspection and understanding, enabling you to learn from the experience and emerge stronger. It is an opportunity to set boundaries, redefine your priorities, and cultivate a deeper sense of self-worth. By forgiving, you affirm your resilience and your ability to rise above the pain, demonstrating that you are more than what happened to you. One of the most profound aspects of forgiveness is its ability to restore your inner peace. Resentment and anger can create a constant state of emotional turmoil, robbing you of joy and clarity. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is an act of release. It allows you to unburden yourself and find a sense of calm and balance. This newfound peace is a reminder that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to the person who caused you pain. Forgiveness also strengthens your capacity for empathy and compassion, not only toward others, but also toward yourself. It is a recognition of the shared human experience, acknowledging that everyone makes mistakes and that holding on to anger benefits no one. This understanding can lead to greater emotional intelligence and healthier relationships as you become more attuned to your own needs and boundaries. It is important to note that forgiveness is not a one-time decision, but often a journey. The process may involve revisiting the hurt, grappling with complex emotions, and reaffirming your commitment to let go. This journey requires patience and self-compassion, as healing is rarely linear. However, the effort is worth it because forgiveness ultimately leads to freedom, not just from the pain of the past, but also from the hold it has on your future. In choosing to forgive, you reclaim your power and agency over your emotional well-being. You decide that your peace of mind is more valuable than holding on to the pain caused by someone else. Forgiveness is for you, a declaration that your happiness and growth matter more than the wrongdoing itself. It is a profound act of self-love, a testament to your resilience, and a powerful step toward living a life unburdened by anger and resentment.